have a choice. He has to go elephants because that's the only things he has. But Mongoose could have played Slingers. Like, he's the Slinger player, right? That's his main. Same Firehawk. They could go double Slingers instead of triple Javelins and wipe out enemy Javelins that were supposed to counter elephants. Because by picking elephants, you force the enemy to bring Javelins, at least 3, maybe more. And then you can pick Slingers to counter those Javelins.
Also, I was surprised I didn't see Elephant God taking a flank, and for him joining the rest of his team. Like, he should have really come around the side, pulled away the enemy, with, you know, the same thing that worked for them on Hadrian's Wall, that elephant cavalry composition, where you can't...
Yeah, but that's different.
...send in the
because
javelins by themselves.
In Hadrian's Wall, you have a wall between you and the enemy team. You can hug this wall, that already decreases the distance, and then once elephants are in position, just pull the trigger and spring the trap. On Capitol Hill, there's a huge open space. You can just wait for enemy to come close to you, because they'll just get close enough to start shooting you, and then you have to close the distance anyway.
But the thing is,
which
Capitol
they could have done,
Hill,
yeah.
where
Elephant,
the fight was
Elephants
split into 2 parts.
Elephant God could go all the way around. The other half of the team, or the remaining team, could pull back, try to draw them in, then maybe like trap them in the middle, like outside the watchtower range, like completely in an open space. Which would be kind of easier to do with pikes, but the enemy team would have to follow for it, or fall for it. Which
that's the thing. Elephant God, he doesn't need to collapse like he did on Hadrian's Wall. All he needs to do is draw away some units, and then that way the javelins can win the Jav War, win that ranged war, because that would have been absolutely crucial. They would have been able to kill the pikes. They would have been able to kill the pikes in time without the enemy Javs shooting at them, and the cavalry would have been a lot more effective.
He went in before javelins were ever in a position to do so.
No, he shouldn't have gone in, that's what I'm saying. He should have gone around the flank and drawn away the enemy instead of actually going straight through the front.
Did you say that he doesn't necessarily have to collapse?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He doesn't. What I'm saying is that Elephant shouldn't have joined that main fight. He should have started another fight on the side.
But, okay, Buxley is the last one to lock in. You go pick your cavalry. Kiwi.
I am. So they are going heavy javelins again.
6 this time. Versus 3 and... oh, versus 6 actually. So 6 javelins versus 6. But then, Sacred Band also has 6 archers on top of that. So that's 12 ranged units versus only 6. Which means Iberian Slingers will have to push much harder. And apply a lot of pressure onto those Javs so that their Javs aren't being killed that much.
We know they're capable of that, but are they capable of doing it against this team on this map? That's the question.
Briggs is really good at like preventing that or delaying that with his crippling shot, and ability to kite as well with haste.
I think we might see a kiting map. Can Team 1 kite correctly, and can Team 2 fight against that kite?
Okay, just press ready. Jacob is ready. So this time, Sacred Band has only 1 cavalry player. How many cavalry players there are on Iberian Slingers side?
Also 1 cavalry player.
Only 1? Okay, so that's 1 versus 1, but they have elephants. double calf could have worked better in this scenario.
I think it's possible, but it is still possible that they'll be able to utilize the elephants correctly now that the team of there isn't so many javelins on the field, basically.
Well, there's 3 less on their side and the same amount on the enemy side.
Yeah, exactly. So the elephants will not just die instantly. They will die quickly, but not instantly.
Kappa.
Elephant God really needs to utilize his elephants properly this time. It's better to not engage than it is to engage in the front in this case, and I hope he's learned his lesson from last time.
Okay, looks like it's a standard deployment from Sacred Band going for the middle. Pikes immediately going to Watchtower, getting the closest deployment spot.
Capture their base or cut them down!
We have a very similar thing happening on the red team. They are setting up to take that middle again, as expected. Now it looks like Elephant God is doing exactly what I've suggested he did last game, and moving along the side with a unit of cavalry as well. So the blue team will see these elephants on the flank at some point in time, and will have to make a decision. What do I commit in order to deal with these elephants?
Yeah, but that's what happened last time, when he just walked up the ramp and charged.
No, he's definitely not doing it this time. Lennox taking that position.
Sacred Band is not capturing the Watchtower.
Yeah, they have not captured the Watchtower. I think at this point it might be a little bit too late, because cavalry has snuck around the side, and I don't know if they've managed to catch vision on that.
They did. They spotted them even without Watchtower.
Okay. Jacob looking to get some opening shots off, not managing to find the range as Aremi has walked away, but they have come off the high ground. It looks like they're making a push here.
But they can easily push and then fall back. That's quite easy.
Well, that's one of the downsides of not bringing archers.
And elephants are now turned right.
Now again, I think this is the same mistake that he's doing. If he comes up the hill onto the high ground, I can't see him making any impact in the game.
That depends. That depends what will in what position they'll catch Sacred Band.
Aremi is going for that trigger pull, trying to allow space for Mongoose to take big hit there onto the pikes. Let's see if he can finish them off before they can do any damage. Aremi is taking huge amounts of damage, and they are trading forth here and there. The elephants are coming into play. They need to get rid of those pikes as quickly as possible. Those elephants aren't going to stand a chance. Meanwhile,
Aremi didn't secure the passage for elephants, but now Mongoose is approaching with his javelin, and they actually caught Lennox just off guard. Oh yeah, that's actually silence in play.
And that is really nice. The elephants can go in. They have nothing to really stop them. If they can get
crippled shot by Jacker last second.
Really nicely played. Good awareness there by Jacker. And Satyrus.
Yeah, a lot of pressure being created. Elephants and gentlemen on top of Von Graf and Jacker. So ranged units of Sacred Band are being now hugely pinned down. Another charge from behind
getting
into
another
Moxie
big
and
charge.
Dermek.
How are they going to deal with this?
That's Iberian Slingers.
How can they deal with this? Where can they run to? At the moment, they're in a bit of a disarray. They're going to have to pull out some big plays, take something back hard.
Yeah, there's some cavalry fight going around at Watchtower, but there are spears involved in that, so that's a huge loss for Iberian Slingers. Even though they still have huge amounts of man advantage at this point, they managed to catch Sacred Band off guard. They escaped their comfortable positions around Watchtower. Now they're being heavily punished for that. They didn't pay attention to elephants enough, didn't block them off. Now they're paying for it.
And it looks like the remaining archers are going to get bundled on. A little bit of a tight spot for them. And the javelins for the blue team are going to get a nice charge.
Yeah, they're getting charged the third time, I think, already. Elephants still wrecking havoc. Those javelins can get enough distance to actually start shooting down those elephants. Only
and
one
the main
killed so
force
far.
of the red team are starting to collapse. these javelins that have been dealing with stuff on the side are going to start to enter the main force and are absolutely destroying the blue team's javelins here.
Yeah, Autocracy and Saturas are finding charges left, right, and center into the enemy team. Funny thing, Saturas is part of Sacred Band originally. So,
Wow,
but that's great. He's giving it all. Like, they won't allow me playing the first squad. I'm just gonna kill them with the other team. that's just beautiful, I think.
Elephants now turning their attention to this big spear ball. I think they've correctly recognized that once this spear ball goes down, then the range will be even better pickings for all this cavalry oppression.
Everything that Sacred Band has right now is being pinned down either by cavalry or infantry or being shot at by slingers. Oh, javelin. So yeah, at this point I don't see Sacred Band having any chance to win, especially they lost everything that could ever deal with those elephants and they're still pretty healthy.
No, absolutely, there is no hope left. This looks like it's going to be a very convincing GG. Now that was really well executed. Trying to get some victory points, but too much map awareness by Mongoose there. Mongoose doesn't take caltrops, he doesn't believe in them, which I think is stupid, but
He
yeah.
believes in silence and memes. That was very well played. I think that came down to Sacred Band being overconfident, pushing up and opening that gap for Elephants. So what Elephant God did was the right thing to do, but only if Sacred Band makes that mistake, and they did, and that's why it worked out perfectly. If they pulled back after just getting those few initial volleys, then well, those elephants wouldn't be able to be utilized so well.
Also, Aremi doing a really good job at the beginning there, overcommitting with his Miltiades, basically sacrificing a unit and keeping the pikes away in order to allow Elephant God to slip through.
Yeah, actually,
really strong
no,
play.
I actually saw him failing to do that because there was an opening. He could secure that passage like around the corner of that ramp, but he didn't do it. Pikes were in there, oh crap, like those elephants will be actually blocked off. But then Mongoose came in with his silence and then caught them off guard anyway.
I think that was just much better coordination there this time. The team seemed to be on the same page. They were moving together as a unit despite them being in different places of the map, engaging where they need to be. They saw an opening, they took it, and I think that is what gave them the momentum to take away this battle and to win it in the end.
That double cavalry, they actually had double cavalry. You said they had only one. They had double cavalry composition, which went around, provided pressure from behind. Those were 4 range players for Sacred Band to protect. And yeah, Iberian Slingers only had 2 range players, and those are javelins who keep close anyway. And they're the ones providing pressure, so they don't have to worry as much about protecting the ranged units as the enemy team has. So we see another good ranged meta, and Gunslinger spamming his row sub emote in a chat in celebration of his victory. Very well deserved, so I have that icon as well, emote.
I think so. Now, is a draw good enough to take them through to the next round? That's the question. It might be. I can't be asked to do the maths, but it might be.
We'll see. Okay, so that was Iberian Slingers versus Sacred Band. That also depends on the other match results. But I think Iberian Slingers have to win pretty much everything. Yeah, to stand a chance. Yeah, Iberian Slingers still have only 3 points. Sacred Band has 6, they are winning the group, but Silver Shield Swordsman versus Vitalis Gladiators didn't conclude yet. Or maybe did conclude, but I just didn't update the score yet. Anyway, what's the next match we're going to cast? It's Iberian Slingers versus Vitalis Gladiators. So we are following the meme team all the way through their adventures. The way for redemption.